hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine there's no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as
As we continue to celebrate peace in an interfaith and international way, we are honored to have with us this evening the Minister Morris C.T. O'Sullivan from the Volusia Buddhist Fellowship. Welcome.
We could just do that again. I gotta tell you, I grew up Baptist, and I'm glad that I'm a Buddhist. It was a good choice for me, but I miss the music. And thank you very much for having me here today. It's really an honor and a pleasure, besides, to be here. Once, when the Buddha was still alive, the monks were arguing among themselves, and he called them together, and he told them the story of Durgayu and Brahmadatta. Durgayu was a prince whose father's land, wealth, and power was seized by the rival king, Brahmadatta, who also ordered Durgayu's father and mother publicly humiliated and then cruelly executed. Years later, Durgayu got a chance for revenge. But as he stood with his sword at Brahmadatta's throat, and the king begging for his life, he remembered what his father had told him right before he died. His father had said that he should always remember the consequences that his actions would have, not just for himself, but for his friends and his followers. And he should also bear in mind that violence is never appeased by violence. Violence can only be conquered by nonviolence. So Durgayu lowered his sword and explained to the relieved and surprised king that if he killed Brahmadatta, Brahmadatta's partisans would no doubt retaliate, and then Durgayu's followers would seek their revenge, and a long cycle of violence would ensue. So it was better, he felt, put an end to that war before it got started. I think we often talk about peace and think about peace as something that's out there, something to be attained, kind of a nebulous spiritual quality maybe, something beyond our control that we hope for, but we never really see. But on a day like today, when we stop to focus on peace and to think about peace and what that means, maybe we could try for a moment thinking of peace not as a concept, but as a practice. How do we make peace into a practice? Well, like any other practice, we can endeavor to cultivate those things which lead to peace, and to abandon those things which do not lead to peace. And we can develop an intention for peace. Peace is an intention. I don't mean intention in the way that, the road to hell is paved with them. I mean, the intentions that we never really quite get around to. I mean the kind of intentions that are grounded in our core beliefs, our most basic values. Because those intentions, those heartfelt views lead to action. If our intention is to create war, we're going to have war. So if our intention is to create peace, we'll get peace. If we truly, deeply value peace, then our intentions, and thus our actions, will be peaceful. We'll begin to speak and work in a way that abandons war and cultivates peace. And if we diligently maintain vigilance over our intentions, and if we keep foremost in our hearts the knowledge that violence cannot be appeased by violence, but only by non-violence, we'll nurture a peaceful heart. Buddhists are sometimes criticized because we look too much inwardly rather than outwardly. And so you might ask, well, how could a peaceful heart bring peace to a world that's already so consumed by violence? And I think it's important to work towards social justice and to work for peace between nations. But as a community, as a global community, as a nation, and as a group of people sitting here in a church together with our families, if we want peace, we have to maintain our awareness that peace is good for all of us, and that our actions have consequences that continue long after we're gone. We have to remember as individuals, one day governments might wise up and stop sending soldiers into battle, and that would be a great thing. But as individuals, we'll never have peace in our worlds as long as our hearts are still at war. Thank you.
Let us thank all of our speakers for peace tonight. Thanks again to our choir, Mount Olive Primitive Baptist Church Choir. And Pastor Adalubi, who is here with us. We welcome you, Pastor. In closing, I want to thank the Volusia Peace Center and the members of the steering committee. Would you please come forward briefly, members of the committee? Getting ready for the reception. So we hope you'll join us next door. There are t-shirts for the Volusia Peace Center. There's a general one that Charlie's wearing. Charlie, if you'd model for us, please stand. It's a peace in several languages. And those t-shirts are for sale for $10. There's also a Christmas one that says, "All I want for Christmas is peace," and that's $5. We also have a traveling peace pole with 8 languages on it, and we're encouraging you to consider hosting this pole in your place of faith or in your business so it can travel around the community. Any other things to share? We're glad you're here. And so there's food and drinks. please join
Candle.
us as we continue to celebrate peace.
Candle.
In closing,
Light the candle.
we're going to ask you to make a circle in this sanctuary, and we're going to light the circle and have a circle of peace as we sing Let There Be Peace on Earth.
The light is coming around. Light your candle if you beg to differ with the darkness. And let there be peace on earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, brothers all are we. Let us walk with one another in perfect harmony. Let this begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Peace. As you extinguish the light, know that you carry that light within you and out into the world. Go in peace. Amen.